Hello, Virgo. How are you? Welcome to your June 2025 general reading. And this is for Virgo's Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or any other placement you've got. Okay, so this month, what are we working with? We are working with the Oracle of Victorian Symbols and Gothic Tales, and we are using the pocket edition of the Well Done Known Tarot. So, let's get stuck into it, shall we? I'm going to start with pulling an oracle to see what is going on, right? And that, oh Virgo, oh how I love you. So you have got psychoanalysis. I'm sorry, Virgo. I'm sorry. I don't mean it. I don't mean to laugh. Sometimes you just can't make this stuff up. So psychoanalysis. Where on earth has your head been? If where has it been, Virgo? Where is it going to be this month? I think that's the question. There's no point me telling you stop overthinking, Virgo. Because it's it's like saying to somebody try and hold water. And it's not going to happen unless you freeze the water. That's the only way you can hold water. So maybe that's a metaphor. Maybe that's your very own metaphor, Virgo. Only overthink if you can freeze your thoughts. Who knows? But that's what's coming through. The number is 25, so adds to 7. 7 is a very spiritual number. It's a number of the kind of intuitive. So maybe less of the psychoanalysis and a bit more leaning into your intuition this month. Perhaps. So we'll get into these cards. So please forgive my bad shuffling of mini cards. I'm no good with mini cards. Everybody's like, oh, I love small cards because they fit my hands, and because I've got small hands, and I've got the opposite. I've got hands like shovels. I'm never going to be a dainty musician, put it that way. Right. Let us see. What have we got going on for Virgo 2025 June? Let's see. The Daughter of Wands, which is a Page of Wands. We've got the Nine of Wands. We have got the Six of Pentacles. We've got the Daughter of Swords. We've got the Mother of Cups. We've got the Son of Swords, which is the Knight of Swords. The Tower. Two of Swords. And the Hermit. So there you're showing up for yourself. Be like that. And at the bottom of the deck, we have got the Devil. Now, what is interesting to me is, in the Taurus reading, they had the Tower in exactly the same position. Now, I'm just wondering if June this year, June of 2025, is going to involve some kind of shake-up involving you and a Taurus in your life. That's not necessarily a bad thing, It could be something that you maybe collaborate on and something else to help a mutual acquaintance. That's what it could be. That feels quite right for a lot of you. Energetic wise, it feels kind of right. So if you're going to be teaming up with a Taurus this month, look out, world. And whatever it is you are collaborating on could be genuinely really, really productive. Okay, so but let's see, we have got lots of people in this reading. We have got the Son of Swords, I say it's the Knight of Swords, Mother of Cups is the Queen of Cups, the Daughter of Swords is the Page of Swords, and the Daughter of Wands is the Page of Wands. So we've got that, you know, that kind of initiatory energy, whereby things have kind of felt stagnant, but now things are starting to move because you're ready for them to move, Virgo. You are in a place now where you feel like things can move forward. It's almost like you're giving yourself permission to move forward with things. And then plus the fact, you know, with the Devil being at the bottom of the card, there could be a Capricorn involved in this as well, which would not surprise me, you know, because when the three earth signs get together, amazing things happen. You know, it really does. It's quite something. So, I mean, you know, all the earth signs are represented, but we have got these swords, and we've got the swords that are showing up here that they're facing each other. You know, it's like this Knight of Swords is so determined, so quick, you know, and then this Daughter of Swords is just a bit like, meh, you know, it's like, I'll move when I want to move. And the Mother of Cups, this one, you know, she's kind of like almost guiding the Son of Swords backwards towards the daughter. But what I did not know, and I only learned this fact this week, that when owls, the only time owls move is when they're hunting, okay, because they maintain and reserve their energy. And I was not aware of that, but that's how you always see owls standing or sitting very still. They conserve their energy. They don't use energy unless they need to. So the fact that that's came through to this reading, and I have been recording like for about 2 hours now, something like that. And I've seen, you know, and there's been like lots of swords coming out in different cards, but that's the first time that piece of information has came to the forefront in my mind to actually talk about. And I think that that's very telling, because it's you that needed to know that. So it's like, unless you're hunting for you, and when I say hunting, what I mean is, you know, the pursuit of something that's important to you, you know, the pursuit of something that gives you sustenance. Because essentially that's what hunting is. It's just we associate hunting with, you know, food. But it doesn't need to be physical food. It could be the fact that you're wanting to, I don't know, maybe go after some new form of education, you know, some new business opportunity, something like that, and you're just waiting on the message. So it's almost like, here's this Knight of Swords coming to you with the message. The Queen of Cups is pointing to the Daughter, or the Page of Swords, and says, right, there she's there. You know, there they are there. You take that message to them, and then by doing so, that's when this is going to start moving. And in that, and then by saying that, it's like going to cause this tower effect, because you're finally moving. And yes, there's going to be a little bit of kind of to and fro, and like, oh no, should I do this, should I do that? You know, this is the moon in Libra, this card. So, you know, it's like your sign, the sign next to you, essentially, you know, Virgo, you're just going to be like, oh, should I? Oh, I don't know. Yes, you should. So whatever you're sitting overthinking about and wondering all the ins and outs of it. Sorry, Virgo, I'm struggling with my throat. So yeah, if you're sitting there wondering about the ins and outs of these situations, of whether you should, whether you shouldn't or not, you absolutely should. Okay, because you've been alone for too long when you have such a bright light, Virgo, and it's time that people seen it. Okay, and again, that going back to that tower, that could be the reason for that, you know. The Taurus energy is very strong. with this Six of Pentacles, right? And it's probably one of the nicest cards associated with Taurus, other than the Empress. Because it's saying here, do you know what I mean? There will be success. You know, there's people waiting to give you what they know, whether it's information or physical assistance or, you know, like kind of a verbal assistance, like giving you advice. There is so many people who are waiting on you, calling them, Virgo. So it's like, you know, you need to give them a call. In order for help to come, you need to ask for it. It's as simple as that. We don't like to ask for help because we're independent, but sometimes we need to. We need to ask the questions, Virgo. We need to ask for the assistance. Because right now, it's like you have got all this enthusiasm and all these sparks of ideas, but it's literally like an uphill struggle because you're trying to do it all on your own. And you try to do it all on your own is because you're an earth sign and you can do it on your own. But just because you can do it on your own doesn't mean to say that you should. And that's why I'm saying enlist the help of those closest to you. And if they're fellow earth signs, Capricorn and Taurus, then all the better. Because it just feels like it's time you have had this idea and you're quite out with your comfort zone by having this idea in the first place, Virgo, but you're going to persevere. Tell as little people as possible and tell the people who you know will encourage you. So don't be telling anybody that's like a friend from, say for instance, like another time in your life, right? Because we have friends for various times in my life and seasons of my life, etc., etc. And sometimes some of them slip through the cracks and they continue to slip through the cracks and we are just not aligned with those people anymore. And it's nothing to do with them. It's nothing to do with you. It's just the way it is. You know, not everybody is destined to be friends forever. And that's okay. Okay, there seems to be this kind of pressure in society where just because you met somebody and you started hanging around with them when you were in school, you're supposed to still be friends with that person for like when you're 50 years old. And if you've got that, then that's wonderful, you know, congratulations. But it doesn't, time doesn't make a difference when it comes to friendship. You know, it's like time is just a unit of measurement, as same as, you know, the things that you can measure, the like gratitude, like how grateful you are for having people in your life, certain people in your life. You know, you can't really put a price or a timeline on that because you can meet some people and it's like within like a weekend or something, you know, you absolutely know that that person is your friend. You know, it's a funny and strange thing that. So bear that in mind, and if you can enlist the help of people, then people will only be too happy to help you because you never ask for go. And that's the important thing. You know, it's not as if you're like every 2 minutes, oh, could you help me with that? Oh, could you help me with this? It's not about that. It's about you having the confidence to stand on your own, to know that you can stand on your own 2 feet, that you can do the things that you need to do. But at the same time, you're asking for help because you would quite like to do the job either quicker or you would quite like to do the job where it's more fun to collaborate with somebody, I think is what I'm trying to say, Virgo, you know. So, I mean, all in all, I mean, June looks like a pretty exciting month, to be perfectly honest, Virgo. You know, you've got that wee bit of passion going on. I mean, when they say it's a terribly passionate spread of cards, you know, but there's nothing outstanding that's really terribly awful. And I think that's where you need to be, Virgo. You know, it's like it's no something that is so amazing and so overwhelming. Because I think if there was something happening where it was like utterly amazing, oh my god, you would be too overwhelmed. And a lot of you would be too overwhelmed. Whereas this rate, it's going the way that it's supposed to go, and it's going the way that your ultimate goals would like it to be. Okay, so I will love you and leave you there, Virgo. I hope you've enjoyed the reading. Consider liking and subscribing, and even leaving me a wee comment. Okay, right, take care, Virgo. Bye.